Good day everyone. I am Margaret Garces and this is Group 3's presentation, Modals. So what are modals? We all know that verb is an action word and can be used on its own. Modal verb is a type of auxiliary verb or helping verb that gives the reader more idea or information about the main verb. Modal verb, as I've said, is a helping verb. It helps show the possibility, intent, ability, or necessity. Modal verbs are used to express or explain more the main verb, and because it is an auxiliary verb or a helping verb, it can't necessarily be used on their own.
Good morning everyone, I am Wendy T. Leiros and I'm going to explain the characteristics of modal verbs. First is they never change their form. Modal verbs maintain their form regardless of grammatical tense or subject. You cannot add suffixes like s to make it a plural form, ed to make it a past tense, or ing to make it a present participle. To negative by adding not. Example sa will, you can change it into negative by adding not. Mahimo na siyang will not. Or sa can, butangan mo og not, mahimo na siyang cannot. Second, they are always followed by an infinitive without the word to. So when we say infinitive, they are the base form of the verb. Modal verbs are always followed by the base form of the verb, but dili nimo na siya pwede sumpayan og word nga to. For example, I can go, dili kay I can to go. So ang kanang can mao na ang modal, while ang kanang go is the infinitive or the bare infinitive. Lastly, they are used to indicate modality and allow speakers to express certainty, possibility, willingness, obligation, necessity, and ability. Modal verbs expresses modality which encompasses the speaker's attitude or perspective toward the action expressed by the main verb. Now, let's consider the difference between the two sentences. First, I swim every Tuesday. Second, I can swim every Tuesday. The first example is a simple factual statement. The speaker participates in a swimming activity every week on Tuesdays. While the second example uses the modal verb can. Notice how the meaning changes slightly. The speaker does not swim every Tuesday. They're saying they're capable of swimming every Tuesday if they need to. It's hypothetical. Sa first statement, he states what he does every Tuesday, which is swimming. So sa second statement, he indicates his ability that he can swim every Tuesday. The first statement, nag-ingon siya nga, galangoy siya kada Martes. While sa second statement, nag-ingon siya nga, kaya niya mulangoy kada Martes. Modal verb can, nalahi na ang iyang meaning.
List of modal verb. Modal verbs are quite common in English and you've probably seen them hundreds of times without actually knowing their names. The most frequently used ones are can, may, might, could, should, would, will, and must. So, ang modal verbs daw kay common na daw kayo ni siya sa English. O kitang tanan daw, nakakita na gurutaan ni pero wala lang takabalo sa ilang mga pangalan. So, next is when are modal verbs used? So, kanus-a manigi nagamit. Likelihood. Some things seem likely, but we don't know for sure. In these cases, you can use the modal verbs should and must to show probability without certainty. So, some things seem likely daw, pero wala takabalo kung mao ba gyud na siya, no? So, sa kani nga mga cases, magamit ta og modal verbs nga should or must para ma-show ang probability bisan og dili certain. Like for example, na diri her parents must be so proud. So, ang iyang parents daw must be so proud. Kanang must meaning wala ta kabalo kung proud ba sila or dili, no? Next is the possibility. In this situation, when something is possible but not certain, use the modal verbs could, may, or might. So sa kani daw nga situation, kung naay something nga possible pero dili ta certain or dili ta sure, ang ato nang gamiton ria could, may, or might. So nagingon diri sa example, judging by the clouds, it might rain today. Or she may become the youngest pro soccer player. So nagingon diri sa example nga judging by the clouds, it might rain today. So dili ka sure pero imo lang giingon kung unsa ang imong na kita because it's a possibility. Next is ability. The modal verb can shows whether or not the subject is able to do something, such as perform an action or demonstrate an ability. Likewise, the negative form cannot or can't show that the subject is unable to do something. So, diri daw sa kaning kan shows whether or not ang subject makabuhat ba siya og butang o kuan maka-perform ba siya or og action or demonstrate sa iyang abilities, no? Likewise, ang negative form pod kung dili ba siya makabuhat. So nagingon diri sa example, she can speak 3 languages but none of them well. So she can meaning nga makabuhat siya ana, no? Able siya nga makabuhat mo ng ability. So she can speak 3 languages, maka-istorya siya og 3 ka languages but none of them well. Kanang maka-speak siya atong tulo pero dili niya mahimo nga kanang fluent siya ana nga tulo ka language.
Good morning everyone, my name is Ruslevan Ungornia and I'm going to report when are modal verb used. So modal verb are auxiliary verb that help express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. They play an important role in forming question, making request, giving advice, or issuing command. So first, asking permission. To ask for permission, you can use modal verbs such as can, may, or could. In formal and polite context, may is traditionally preferred. Example, may I go to the bathroom? So using can might imply ability rather than permission. So as in, can I go to the bathroom? Which could be misinterpreted. So, modern usage often allows both may and can interchangeable. So, number 2, making request. So, when asking someone to do something, modal verb like will, would, can, or could are typically used. So, example, would you get that box off the top of the shelf? Or another example, will you turn that music down? So this modal helps frame the request politely or with varying degrees of formality. So number 3, giving suggestion. So if you're offering advice or making a recommendation without being commanding, the modal verb should is commonly used. Example, you should try the lasagna. So this usage suggests a course of action without demanding it. So number 4, issuing command. So to express commands or strong obligations, modal verb like must, have to, or need to are employed. So example, you must wash your hands before cooking. Another example, so you need to be here before 8. So this modal indicates something that is necessary or required. So modal verb are versatile tool in English that adjust the tone and intent of your sentence. So understanding when and how to use them help ensure your message is clear and appropriately conveyed.
Good morning everyone, I am Kate Legaspi. I am reporting about when our modal verbs are used, focusing on obligation or necessity and the habits. But first, let's talk about the obligation or necessity. Obligation or necessity is modal verbs can express a necessary action, such as an obligation, duty, or requirements. Likewise, The negative form expresses that an action is not necessary. Use the same modal verbs as with commands: must, have to, or need to. Ang mga modal verbs ko is many are often used to express a necessary action. This could be something that someone must do, has to do, or needs to do. These are called expressions of obligation or necessity. For example, we have to wait for our boss to arrive before we open. In this sentence, have to shows that it's required for us to wait. It's not optional, it's an obligation. We have to wait. So it means needed kita mo wait before tamo mag-open because it's our obligation to wait for our boss to arrive. Para mas masabtan na tugmay ang obligation or the necessity of when our modal verbs use, let me give some example about some must, has to do, or needs to do para mas ma-differentiate nato sa ilang kalahian tolo. Must. It is used often in formal rules or strong obligation, or it's often something that is very important or required. For example, you must wear a seatbelt while driving. In this sentence is, wearing a seatbelt is a legal requirement. This is not a personal choice. It's a strong rule or law, so must is appropriate. Common naman kayo ni sato ang once mag-drive gyud ka is gawer gyud kag seatbelt. So must means required. Wala siya choice. It is a required gyud siya for all person. Have to. A general necessity often used in daily life, but it's usually about external obligation, like something imposed by other. For example, your boss, the school, office, or etc. For example, I have to finish my homework before dinner. This obligation likely comes from parents or school's expectation. It's something you're required to do, not necessarily a rule or law, but still a duty. In the sentence, I have to finish my homework before dinner, imo gining obligation as a student nga humanon gid nimo imong homework. Well, it's not necessarily nga humanon gid nimo siya kana dayon, but it's your duty or it's your obligation nga imo siyang buhaton. Need to. Need to is used when something is necessary for a particular purpose or result. It focuses more on what is required in a specific situation. For example, you need to bring your ID to enter the building. In this sentence is bringing your ID is necessary to gain access. It's not a rule or command, but it's a requirement for the situation. For example, sa ato ang mga students, always bring sa tong ID para maka-enter ta sa CSU campus. Kaya once dili na to madala tong IDs, kwanta sa guard kay mo manay kibali identity na to as a student. So obligation na to or required ta nga magdala sa tong ID para mailhan ta nga student ta sa CSUCC campus. Habits. To show an ongoing or habitual action, something the subject does regularly, you can use the modal verb would for the past tense and will for the present and future. The phrase used to is also acceptable if you're talking about a habit that no longer exists. Ang habit daw ko is mo ang mga action that someone does nga regularly, maybe gali daily, weekly, or something nga nabuhat na nila sa ilahang past. To express habits, we often use modal verbs like would for past habits, will for present and general habits, used to for past habits or for past habits or no longer true. So it means before na. For example, sa using would for past habits, for example, is when I live alone, I would fall asleep with music. Diri sa kani nga sentence, sa word nga would shows a repeated action in the past, something that happened often but doesn't anymore. So it means before kanang siya ra isa nagpuyo, matulog daw siya nga makatulog daw siya with music. Second example is will. Will means it describes the habits or typical behaviors that people do now, often repeatedly or predictably. It can sometimes show annoyance. For example, My dog will bark every time the doorbell rings. In this sentence is, the dog always barks when the doorbell rings. Present na siya because every time man nga doorbell nga ga-ring ang doorbell, every time mo po time nga magsigig bark ang ero. So it means regular behavior na ni sa ero og mo ni ang iyang present nga ginabuhat. Third is used to. Used to is for me, it is for past habits. Mo ni ang mga habits nga na-stop na. Talk about something that was true or happened often in the past but not anymore. Example is, I used to play the piano every day. Sa atong example is, ang person ko na ani is before, sa iyang past life is, halos everyday niya gina-play ang piano. But now is, maybe dili na or maybe gistop na niya because naggamit man siya og used to. So now let's move to how to use modal verbs with example. Modal verbs are helping verbs. They come before the main verb to add meaning. We use them to show ability, possibility, necessity, permission, or advice. Some common modal verbs include can, could, may, might, must, have to, need to, shall, should, will, and would. Nakahatag naman ko og mga example ganina sa must, have to, need to, will, and would. Kay kung isa-isa man manggod nato ni mas daghan pagig kayo, kay daghan gid kayo og modal verbs. So, mag-focus na lang ta sa maghatag og tulo sa can, could, and may. Can, mo ni siya ang present nga ginakuha nato. It means the ability or permission. Ang can is mo ni siya ang asking for permission or to show what someone is able to do or nag-ask of permission. For example, I can speak 3 languages. Mo ni siya ang ability. Ability nimo nga kaya nimo maka-speak og 3 languages. Second example, you can use my phone. You can use my phone. Nagamit siya ang can, but this time dili siya ability. It's a permission. It's you giving a permission nga gamiton ang imong phone sa laing tao. Could. Could is something that past abilities or polite request. Mo ni siya ang past form of can. Mo pa ni siya ang pwede nga makahimo ka og make a polite suggestion. For example, could you help me with this? It's a polite request. Nag-request ka nga pwede ba ka mangayo og help with someone else. And second example is, when I was a child, I could run very fast. Mo ni siya ang mga possible nga past ability during your childhood. Third is may. May, mo ni siya ang mga asking for permission or even possibility. For example, may is more formal than can. May is also to ask or give permission or to talk about something possible situation. For example, you may go now. In this sentence is nag-give ka og permission nga pwede na siya malakaw. You may go now means you're giving permission to someone nga pwede na siya mo go. Second example is, it may rain this evening. It may rain this evening, it means it's possibility nga nakita nimo outside nga possible nga mo rain karon nga gabion na. So dili siya ingon nga accurate nga mo ulan gud siya. But since kay nakita man nimo ang yang external nga situation sa gawas, so mo nang nakaingon kag it may rain this evening because there is a possibility nga maulan karon nga evening. Okay, that's all for my report.
Good evening, everyone. I am Junior Sinayon, your 6th reporter, and our topic is how to use modal verbs with examples. So, for basic sentences, the simple present tense, just remember these rules. Modal verbs always come directly before the main verb except for questions. Example, I can eat an entire pizza. So, ang atong modal verb nga gamit diri is ang word nga can, and ang main verb is ang word nga eat. So, makita man nato diri no nga nag-una jud ang ato ang modal verb before ang ato ang main verb. So in this sentence, we use the modal verb as is, which means it don't change in the present, past, and future. So ang ato ang gigamit nga modal verb, which is ang word nga can, no, dili siya ma-change in terms of present, past, and future nga mga sentences. So with modal verbs, use the infinitive form of the main verb without the word to. So in this sentence, we should use the base form of the verb after the modal, and we shouldn't use the word to. Example, he might join us. He might to join us. So ang ato ang correct form of sentence diri is ang he might join us. And ang wrong is ang he might to join us. We should not use the full infinitive form of the main verb nga to join after the modal verb. Instead, we should use the base form of the verb nga which is ang word nga join. No, so ang ato ading modal verb diri is ang word nga might, and ang ato ang main verb which is mootong ang word nga join. So again, no, we should not use the full infinitive form of the main verb nga to join. It is because marong nang ato ang sentence nga ato ang gigamit, no. So next is present continuous. So after the modal verb, use the word be followed by the ing form of the main verb. Modal verb plus be plus verb in ing form. So kining ing form of the main verb is called gerund, a verb that ends in ing that acts as a noun. Example, I should be going. So ato ang modal verb diri is ang word nga should, and ato ang main verb with ing is ang word nga going. So this sentence is a present continuous because it includes be going, which means it is an ongoing action. Going is the present participle, and the word be helps the form to be in continuous tense. So ang ato ang sentence diri is present continuous.
Good day, I am Melvin Jones M. Ibanez. The present perfect continuous. You can add modal verb before a verb in the present perfect continuous tense without changing much. However, when using a modal verb, you must always use have, never, had, even if the subject is the third person. So, ang present perfect continuous with modal verbs, ang structure niya is modal verb plus have been plus verb in ing form. So, kini siya is used to describe an ongoing action that started in the past and may still be happening now with a sense of speculation and or deduction. So, even with the third person subjects like she, always use have, not had. So, example, she must have been sleeping. So, we guess that she has been sleeping for a while, maybe up until now. So next is the past tenses and present perfect. Putting a modal verb in the simple past, past continuous, and present perfect tenses is a little trickier. For starters, two modal verbs in particular have simple past tense, can and will. If you want to use either of those in any the past tenses, you must first conjugate them into their past tense form. So, using the modal verbs with the past tenses and the present perfect, it gets trickier to use modal verbs in a past tense form like simple past, past continuous, present perfect, and important point niya is only can and will have past tenses forms. Can becomes could, will becomes would. So to talk about the past with these modal verbs, you need to change them first. I can go, so I could go. She will help, she would help. So that's all for my report, and thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm MJR Inyales, and here's my report. Modal verbs in the past continuous. What is past continuous? Past continuous describes an action that was happening at a certain time in the past. When combined with modal verbs, it talks about what could have been happening, would have been happening, with a certain possibility or intention. Structure: could or would plus be plus verb in ing form. Explanation: only can and will have past tense forms. Could from can and would from will. We use could or would to talk about possible or intended actions that were ongoing in the past. Example: I could be working right now. But since this is about past continuous, a better version would be I could have been working at that time, meaning it was possible that I was working then, but maybe I wasn't. Or he would be studying every night back then. That was his habitual or expected action in the past. Use cases could be plus ing, suggest possibility in the past, and would be plus ing, often used for routine or habits in the past. Modal verbs in the present perfect. Structure: modal verb plus have plus past participle of the main verb. Past participle means the verb form like gone, eaten, done, finished, and seen. Always use have, not had, even if the subject is he, she, or it. This structure is used when you're talking about something that possibly happened in the past. You're showing possibility, certainty, or a guess about a past action. You're expressing a past event with a connection to now. Example: I might have gone to the party, but I forgot. It's possible that I would have gone, but something stopped me. More examples: she must have seen the message. You're sure she saw it. They could have left already. It's possible they already left. He should have studied more. Giving advice about something that already happened. Common modal verbs used are might have, must have, could have, should have, and would have. Modal verbs in future tenses. Most future tenses in English already use modal verbs, especially will, but you can also use other modals like can, may, should, to talk about the future depending on what you're trying to express: possibility, ability, or advice. Structure: modal verb plus base form of the verb. No to before the main verb. Examples: I can hang out tomorrow. Can shows ability or possibility in the future. Should I major in law next year? Should is used to ask for advice about a future decision. You don't always have to use will to talk about the future. Other modal verbs can express different meanings. Can has the ability or possibility. Example: I can finish it by Monday. May or might, possibility. She may come later. Should is used for advice or suggestion. You should study for the test. Must, strong necessity or certainty. You must attend the meeting tomorrow. Understanding modal verbs is essential for effective communication. They help us express possibility, necessity, ability, permission, and advice in different tenses. By learning how to use modal verbs correctly, whether in the present, past, or future, you gain the power to speak and write more clearly, politely, and confidently. Thank you for watching.